Hi guys, you know I've been getting into a ham radio, but not any kind of ham radio, something called QRP, which is operating with very little power and very small radios. Here's a perfect example. It's called a Weber MTR mountaintop radio. It's really small. The first time I used it, I actually had a conversation with someone about 5,200 miles away in Estonia. Absolutely amazing. Here it's on 20 meters, that's the wavelength or band. It also does 40 meter and covers the whole bands. It's not very powerful, only about 3.3 watts on 20 meters and 4.5 watts on 40 meter, but the range is absolutely unbelievable. And we're in the middle of nowhere here, camping. Here's my tent. It's an ICS, Improved Combat Shelter. Working pretty well so far. It's a little warm, but I'm sure that will be appreciated during the cold winters. So here I have the Weber MTR. I have 8 rechargeable AA cells, which provide about 11 volts. I have a mini speaker, and I have an American Morse DCP paddle. The antenna is composed of a better QRP and fed tuner. Basically it's just a wire with a matchbox. So here's the matchbox. The reason why I used it instead of the LNR Precision, which by the way I used the wire and choke assembly, I don't know if you're going to see it here with the sun, probably not, is because you have an SWR indicator, which is basically a little LED there that tells you how well your antenna is tuned, and that goes through a cable, of course, to the antenna here, plug. It's really small, it's really light, you can pack it easily, it draws very little current. Those AA cells are going to last a very long time. I even have a solar panel if I want to recharge them, so it's really autonomous. So as you can see, a ham radio is not just someone isolated in the basement and talking to a bunch of people, but it's also operating outside, and some people actually climb mountains to broadcast from the top and make contacts. Some people sail to remote islands. Some people go hiking into different places, national parks. So it's a different kind of ham radio. It's more, I don't know, it's more natural. It's more enjoyable to me anyway. So that's it. Now let's have a look at the MTR actually being used. Another thing I'd like to say about ham radio is that it really can be a lifesaver. A lot of people have died in the outdoors because they couldn't call for help. But when you can actually pack something that small, look at this. That weighs nothing. This radio here is a Weber MTR. It has a global range. you can I could contact someone, and I have talked to people in Eastern Europe from the United States, about 5,200 miles. It can do more than that. So when there's no cell phone reception and something goes wrong, you need to have a way to call for help. And a small radio like this can do it. This one, of course, because it's so tiny, is Morse code only. So you have to learn Morse code. But if you're patient enough to do so, you're getting yourself a system that can get you out of trouble from absolutely anywhere. Requires a little effort. Yeah, it takes a while, but it's really worth the effort. And as far as price, a small radio like this costs $120. You have to build it yourself, but it's not that difficult. You can build a couple kits before, and so for any situation when you don't have a commercial infrastructure, anything can happen. The power grid can go down. You can be isolated. You can, the internet can be down. If we have hurricanes around here, and of course, when that happens, people have been cut off for weeks at a time. By having a radio like this, you can actually relay messages. You can ask other people to send emails for you or make phone calls. You can tell your loved ones that you're fine, you're okay. And if you need specific help, you can call for it. There are other devices like the Spot, where you press a button and it's detected by a satellite, and you get help, but you can't really say what kind of emergency you're in. With a small Morse code radio like this, you can ask for anything you want. You can talk to people who will help you. It's actually on 20 meters, receiving some Morse code right now. So all you need is a little battery pack, AA batteries, small radio. There are different kinds. They're called QRP radios. And tiny speaker or earphones. I have a little speaker here. You need a key to input the Morse code, and just a paper and a pen, and an antenna. An antenna is just a wire that you shoot up a tree with. Use a slingshot with a fishing line, and there you have it. Communications from the boonies.